Okay, here we are. What is it like for a boy to come to life in a woman's body, to know an infant's extraordinary fusion and identification with his mother, and then have to define himself as man? Tell me what that means to you, please.
I think I get what it says. Starting off, you start off life in a woman's body, and then being born a man, having to identify with like male characteristics, maybe more masculine characteristics, which from like a societal point of view you'd want to like appear more masculine, but you were born in your mom. Your mom birthed you. This.
And in her arms a lot, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Were you in her arms a lot?
Not as much as I wanted,
Right,
but
you were in her arms?
yeah, and
Were you in women's arms a lot?
yes.
Okay, so mother's arms.
And women are emotional. And my grandparents had always told me that no one will ever love me like my mom does. She knew my name before I was born. She made plans for me before I was born. Like setting plans ahead of time. Like making plans for something that's not here. That's what moms do. That's what a mom that loves you before you're even born does. And then we have to not... Well, then you're, as a man, you kind of don't want to be so emotional. You know? But this emotional creature brought you in. It's only fair you should inherit some of that. Right?
Makes sense to me. Yeah. So when you first heard that quote, what did it...
Yeah, like, oh man, it's such a good point to... Well, you said it was written in the 70s. Men were a lot different back then, but I guess still in the same way the same. Probably being awfully stoic and not being so emotional thinking, and just kind of men just, I'm gonna generalize, but like kind of like push things down.
Do you push things down?
I think, yeah, but I think that's my toxic trait. I think.
Talking trait?
Toxic trait.
Oh.
Yeah, that's my toxic
Got
trait.
some work there.
Yeah.
Got it. So you want to say your name, your first name?
Yeah, my name's Ridge.
Ridge. And how long have you and your mother been in relationship?
It started when I was a little bit later than... I don't know. It started later.
It's a trick question.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I didn't know like how long we've been close.
How long have you known your mother?
24 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does she live near you?
Yeah. She actually lives like 15 minutes away from here, actually.
Okay. And you are, where are we now?
Sawtee. Yeah.
Sawtee.
Georgia.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And how often do you see her, like face to face?
A few times a week. But I mean, that's kind of being, if I have time to, just because I work at the gym very, very long, and I try to spend the weekends with Kayla if I can. So.
And Kayla is?
My fiance.
Right. And you're getting married when?
November 4th.
Congratulations. Yeah. That's exciting. So, and you talked about you want to become a father?
Yes.
Okay. So that means that you will eventually, when you become a father, be living with a mother.
Yes.
And I wonder what you think, or have you thought about that before?
I think I'm going to have one of the best moms ever for my kids. Well, it's because she reminds me so much of my mom. You know?
And what are those qualities about your mother that you love?
Patience and just, I don't know. Should I go in depth about why?
Briefly.
My dad was on drugs my whole life. And so mom was mom and dad. But mom also wasn't home a lot. Where it used to, I'd get mad because, you know, me and my brother were left to babysit almost.
Each other?
And our dad.
And your dad.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And how long was your dad? Were you with your mom and dad? Did they stay in your home with you till you moved out? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Whenever I was younger, I used to get like so mad because I was always like, "Why are we being left alone with Mr. Druggy?" Well, you know, and I don't see mom till late. You know, I was in my teens.
And she was patient, back to that quality that you're
Oh,
telling
yeah.
this story. She was patient with him and with all of you, or was
With
that
everything. And so this is, I didn't, and so because my mom wasn't around, because she was working, she's a teacher, but even during the summer she had 2 jobs, you know. So mom was making that money, you know, the whole time. I just wasn't old enough to appreciate it then.
Is that a quality that you clearly were inspired by, that you want or live by or
Yeah,
desire
to
for
just
yourself?
to grind quietly.
She ground quietly. Okay.
And no complaints, not a single thing.
So you feel like you're a lot like her today by choice?
I hope so.
You hope so?
Yeah.
Okay. Another quality? Thank you for the back story.
Yeah. Well, my mom, she has a strong will. And sometimes I think it makes her stubborn. So whenever we were younger, me and my brother JD, we were like, hey, you know, divorce is an option, you know? And like, it's not like we're not gonna follow you, you know? And so we had a very adult conversation when me and JD were in elementary school. And so we kind of told mom, like, hey, if this stays up, either we're gonna have to, we're gonna find dad dead one day. And mom was just miserable. But whenever she came home and saw us, it was like her mood changed. And she was like, this is why I do that.
And her mood would change to
And she's like, oh, my boys.
joy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But she never, as she always said, and this is where I think her will comes from, is just, she claims that, she says that God will never put her through anything that she can't handle. And whether you agree with the statement or not, to put up with so much crap like she did and still come home happy, there's no one else that can do that.
Yeah. Are you like that now?
I think I'll get there.
Do you want to?
Mm-hmm.
You do.
Yeah.
Great. Another quality of your mother that you are inspired by or aspire to?
She's always in a good mood. Always. Oh, sometimes there's nothing to be happy about, but she just has a smile. So like, she's always like a cup half filled, you know, not half empty. She's like, could be worse, you know. My mom had like an infection or something in her colon, and like she had like septic or something, and that's scary. She was like, well, I'm back home. Like, you're not gonna even meditate on that? Like, you don't wanna, that was a close one, Mom. And she's like, nah, it's okay.
Where do you think that she gets her patience, her strong will, and her what was the third one?
And yeah, the patience, the strong will, and just
Always
staying happy. Like
staying
always
happy.
staying happy.
Always staying happy.
For her, it's probably just her faith that
In what?
just God,
She has a strong faith in God.
Mhm.
Okay.
so she's she always has this belief that everything will be okay, that everything comes full circle, you know.
Do you have some of that? Half glass, quarter glass, eighth of a glass? Where are you?
Yeah, well, because things always could be worse, you know, like I don't know if you've ever, like, I was in a bad car accident and the truck got completely totaled.
That you were in?
Yeah, and it was definitely my fault. But yeah, that crash I shouldn't have walked out of, and the only thing that happened was I pinched a nerve in my back. And the only thing I think is, like, at least I'm not, there's no glass in my nose or something.
Yeah.
So it's always but it provides you some perspective. Like, yeah, it sucks right now, but this isn't the worst it gets.
Okay. So, if there is any area or any way that you would like to change your relationship with your mother, what would that be?
I don't know. She's my role model, so I don't know how else I could view her any higher.
So I'm hearing there's nothing you would change
No,
in your relationship with your mother.
I could tell her anything. I mean, like, literally anything, and that's incredible. And there's not a lot of people that have someone where you can, especially not a parent, where you can tell anything to. Like, my mom, for the 21 years of my life and the 17 years of my brother's life, put everything on hold so she could make sure we never starved. We might have not always had water or power, but we were always fed. That was only like once or twice, But still, like, who else puts their lives on hold and gives up on their dreams so you can just be happy and have a childhood?
Your mother did.
Moms, that's it. That's about it.
Yeah, so we're just going to wrap up, and if you'd like to speak to your mom, what would you say to your mom?
Oh God, I don't know. I hope that I become more like you. I think in my old age I will, as I get older, and just having her patience and having, her just kindness. I don't know. There's so many things that I could say about her. Her willingness to just give and give and give until she has nothing. That's what I want.
Why?
That's like the perfect way to live. To give to others. not doing that, then there's not much of a point, whether it's advice or some time, or I mean, it doesn't have to be money, but it can be. But just your willingness to give. There's got to be a reason you feel good when you give to people. And so,
And you know what it feels like to receive her
yeah,
giving.
she's the most giving person I've ever met.
Thank you, Ridge.
Thank you.
Appreciate the time.